Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Her Press Box. I'm Madeline,
I'm Juliana.
and we are so happy you are here. We have a lot on the agenda today to talk about. But first things first, Juliana, if you didn't know, Juliana and I are going up against each other right now in our fantasy hockey leagues. So if you see some tension, just know it's an interesting week for us. But
Both of our leagues, we're going against each other.
Yes, which I think that's really funny timing, considering
Yeah.
they're different people amounts. There's only one league that I actually care about beating her in, and I am beating her. So that's the one where we're both undefeated. So this week, because we're the last two undefeated people in our league, it's our Bar Down Baddies League. This week, there will be one person undefeated. And then the other one I lost last week. It was just a really bad week for me. I don't want to talk about it. So if I lose to her there,
I'm
I
still
don't care.
undefeated.
That's the league, though. We're literally tied. We have the same amount of points, which I think is so funny. I looked at it this morning.
39.4.
Yeah, I looked at it this morning and I said, swag. So 39.4, we're tied in the Chicks with Sticks League. And then in our Bar Down Baddie League, Juliana has 37.1 and I have 43.7. But this is a fun week because in the Bar Down Baddies League, it's like our own personal Hughes Bowl. Because Juliana's Hughes Your Daddy and I'm Quinn and Tonic. So it's Quinn and Jack.
Yep,
Sorry,
and I
Luke.
have Jack.
But
Oh, yeah, none of us have Luke.
no!
But I have been doing really well in fantasy. I'm undefeated in both leagues. I have yet to lose. When I lose, I don't think I'll be a good sport about it.
But what if it's at the hand of me?
I'm still not going to be a good sport about it. For the past 3 weeks on my Instagram note, it's been about me winning.
Yeah, I'm going to be so annoying if I beat her. But if she beats
Either way,
if she beats me, I'm gonna have to block her for a week. You might not get a podcast episode next week. I'm gonna need a little bit.
there's no good outcome.
No.
Basically.
If you beat me in
Because
Chicks with Sticks, I'll be okay. I won't be mad. I feel like this is my prediction. I think it's gonna be 1-1. I think we're each gonna win one. I don't think one of us is gonna take both though.
I don't, yeah.
Because
and that for me means I'm gonna lose.
My
I
bar
haven't
down
lost.
my bar down baddie one it's tough. Like 2 weeks in a row. Last week was the first time in 2 weeks that I wasn't the top point scorer. Like if you look back at our standings, I have the most points in the league. Like it's strong. Like it's a solid team. Although Thomas Chabot is injured and I am absolutely gutted about it. So there's that.
Frank Nazar's injured right now.
I know he's on my IR for my Chicks with Sticks League one. Also, this is my only note when you said you want to talk about fantasy. If someone's watching this, please tell me if I need to draft. I'm probably gonna make a TikTok about this. Please tell me if I need to get rid of Nikita Kucherov and Leon Draisaitl. I know that those are two like apparently amazing people in fantasy, but I don't know if they're having a slow start to the season. But I like literally don't remember the last time they got me more than point something points. Like if they were even getting me 1 point, I'd be okay. But every time I look at their end scores, all I see is 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.7. Like I need more than that from people who I have been told or also saw from last year who should be producing way more than that. So
Also, Anthony Stolarz is day to day,
I did see that, and they don't even have Wool yet.
and he is my goalie for both of the leagues. So I'm not upset because
I was
goalies
about to say.
are just bound to lose points. I'm not upset.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I feel like it might be a little bit of an advantage.
I put Thomas Chabot on my IR for one of my leagues because I had my IR. I think it was for the Quinn and Tonic League because my IR for penalty box players, Frank Nazar's in it right now. And when I was putting it, it's like, you want to put Joseph Wall in there? No. I have Joseph Wall exactly where I want him. Not winning me or losing me any points.
But yeah, either way, the outcome of is not going to be good.
Stay tuned because whether I win or lose, it's going to be blasted. Okay. Next, I want to talk about something that I'm very excited. The PWHL this past week talked about their takeover tour, and they're coming to Dallas. Ah! That's so exciting to me. American Airlines Center. We're gonna get the New York Sirens and the Seattle Torrent. I really wish it was Vancouver, but
Yeah, I was like, God.
if it was Vancouver, I literally would be just through the moon. I I really want to go, but the date is just so inconvenient. It's December 28th. It's 3 days after Christmas, and I will be in Missouri for Christmas. So, but I would love to go. I'm scared they won't come to Dallas again next year.
No, like they definitely will.
Okay, I hope they come to Dallas again next year. Next year, I got you guys. Unless it's on December 28th again, then I don't got you.
I think I like the takeover tour. I think it's a really smart way for them to engage with different audiences that are still obviously hockey audiences.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
It's also good marketing.
Whoever came up with the idea in the PWHL, good for them. They need a raise.
Also,
the PWHL knows how to grow their audience, unlike another hockey league.
although, well, yes. And that's also important because the PWHL is very northern heavy. Like, there's nobody who's made their way down yet. But I also feel like this is a good way for them to observe, like, turnout when they're talking about potential expansions in the future and be like, okay, like, this city really popped out for a PWHL takeover game. So I think that they would be a good contender for a team. You know what I mean?
That's why Vancouver got a team.
Yeah. It just gives PWHL fans all over the chance to watch live PWHL. I'm really excited for this season.
In my ultimate fantasy, it would be Vancouver versus the Frost, so I could cheer on Vancouver, and so I could call Britta Curl a homophobe.
Right.
In person. Yeah. Because how are you going to be in the PWHL and be a homophobe?
Right. Did you see Lexi LaFleur Brown's video talking about how one of the PWHL teams needs to do a carabiner giveaway? And then someone commented, Seattle, because Lexi lives in Seattle. Someone commented, Seattle's doing a carabiner giveaway. She said, no way! I don't know if that's true.
Really?
I don't know if that's true. But according to that comment, Seattle's doing a carabiner giveaway, and I think that's so fun.
Speaking of fun giveaways, do you want to know what the Buffalo Sabres are doing a giveaway for?
A butter dish.
Yeah. And I looked it up.
I saw that video everywhere.
Turns out, last year, they did a gravy boat.
Okay, they're sticking with the kitchen theme. I like it. I respect it.
Also, while I was looking up the whole butter dish stuff, guess who also is giving away a gravy boat this year?
Who?
The Seattle Kraken for their Dallas game.
I want a gravy boat.
It's kind of nice. I have a picture of it.
I want to see it.
Here's the butter dish.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the gravy boat from last year.
Whoa. That is sick.
Zamboni gravy boat.
I want a Zamboni gravy boat.
And here is the Seattle gravy boat.
That's cool. I want a gravy boat. Hey, Seattle, send me a gravy boat.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Sabrina Carpenter is very famous. If you don't know who Sabrina Carpenter is, you live under a rock. Simply put it. She's on tour right now. And when she was in Toronto last year, when she was on tour, she wore this, a custom Maple Leaf jersey. She loves doing custom things for each city. So this year, while she's in Toronto, the first night, bam, the Maple Leafs on the boot.
They're so hard. I love them. They're sick.
And I have another picture of it.
Yeah.
And, everyone was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. The fact that I can't believe she does this for Toronto, because she doesn't do it for any other sports team, no matter what.
Maybe she's a
So I
Leafs
think that's
fan.
interesting. She's from Pennsylvania. Anyways, this was night 1. And then we're like, oh my gosh, wow, amazing. She's not going to overdo this. And then, bam, night 2. And if you can't see, there is a puck.
She hits a puck?
She does hit a puck. And I have been waiting for somebody on Twitter to be like, I caught the puck.
No, yeah. One of my notes when you said you wanted to talk about this is just, I said, I want a bedazzled hockey stick.
That was another thing I saw. People are like, I have an idea now.
Yeah, that's sick.
Okay, and then she posted a dump Leaf Fit to Sabrina to sparkle in the spotlight at Scotiabank. Unlike some people, I remember when she first did the Toronto Maple Leaf jersey. There was a person, I remember seeing this TikTok of a person in the UK seeing the jersey of a Toronto Maple Leaf and being like, oh my god, it's Sabrina's, like talking about Sabrina and associating it with Sabrina. I think, honestly, her doing all of this is bringing more people towards hockey than what the NHL does.
I think so many people are bringing more people to hockey than the NHL. If there's one thing we can all agree upon, it's the NHL sucks at marketing. But you know what they're low-key fire at? Them commercials. I love an NHL commercial.
So Austin Matthews is day-to-day right now. Sabrina, can you play center? Sabrina, the Leafs need you.
Yeah, I saw all of those, like, jokes and stuff. They were funny.
I also just love seeing celebrities do hockey stuff and, like, hockey be in the cultural zeitgeist.
Well, I mean, I think Tate McRae is the queen of hockey.
Oh, 100%. Could I tell you who she dated who was a hockey player? No, couldn't. I do know she wears hockey jerseys.
Well, she's from Canada. She's Canadian.
And she has that one picture in the goalie pads. I don't know anything about Tate McRae except for that.
Well, she's Canadian, and I'm pretty sure she played hockey when she was younger and grew up with hockey. She did date a hockey player. I also could not tell you a hockey player. But she also was a captain or coach or something for the All-Star Games in 23, I think.
Yes.
So she knows puck.
But
she does a lot for the hockey community.
I think hockey being culturally relevant is something that they struggle with. Unlike the NFL, like, everyone knows the NFL, right? Mm. It is the biggest sports league. It gets mentioned all the time. Nobody thinks twice about it. Whereas, like, when hockey gets mentioned, it's like, oh my god. The SNL did a skit talking about hockey. And if you don't know what the SNL skit was, it was making fun of the Predators. Because their name is the Predators. And they had a shirt that said, Preds in the community. So thank you, Miles Teller, for bringing that to life. But I think right now, especially after Four Nations, this is like the most hockey's been growing. But then at the same time, there are certain things happening with different teams and within the organization itself that just simply repels viewers.
Yeah. Well, because the NHL is the only, like, this is just so kind of random, but, like, speaking of certain teams, the NHL is the only sports league that doesn't have a domestic abuse, domestic violence, sexual abuse, like, clause saying that if a player is guilty or tried for something like this, they can't play. Only sports league.
So, yes, there are a lot of problems within the NHL as an organization. It is very easy to be a woman, to be a person of color, to be queer, literally to be anything and be deterred by the NHL because of certain players and certain things they say and the fact that the organization doesn't do anything to combat it. Mm-hmm. And then whenever they banned Pride Tape, I mean, it speaks for itself.
I mean, when you have Gary Bettman, however you say his name, at the helm, what do you expect?
So, while I think having Sabrina Carpenter do all this, and it could be a great way for the NHL to promote themselves, they do just keep doing nothing.
Oh, NHL. Speaking of the NHL.
Oh, NHL.
Ovi versus Crosby. We all know a rivalry. Ovi won the Calder back in the day. The one trophy Sidney Crosby will never win because Ovi got it, not him. Just a rivalry people have put them against because they were two successful rookies during their time. But a new rivalry people are sparking back up is now Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard, saying they're like the Sidney Crosby and Ovi duo. And I just think that's so silly. Like, why are we instantly, we're like, yes, 2 first-round draft picks, talented men. Let's put them against each other.
I love competition. I love a competition. I love it. I love being able to hate on somebody for no reason. That's why sports exist. That is the simple fact. That is why sports exist. I do think it's silly because something I was thinking about whenever I first saw this in the notes was, I'm like, they're not in the same conference like Ovi and Crosby were.
Also, Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard are from the same place. They played for the same team back in the day. Just
grew up together.
Different age groups, grew up together. Also, in a recent interview, Connor Bedard was asked about Macklin Celebrini, and Connor said that they're best buds and that he is the most excited person every time Macklin Celebrini gets a point or scores a goal.
I also saw Connor Bedard talking about, I don't remember exactly what he was talking about, but he basically said, I think it might have been about the rivalry, him saying, whatever brings fans in, we are here for entertainment, and him being self-aware of, like, while you are playing hockey on such a high level, and it is a huge accomplishment, it is entertainment. Mm-hmm. Like, without fans, you would not be doing it.
Yeah.
It's very seldom that you see a hockey player actually acknowledge that they are in the entertainment industry, basically.
Yeah.
So I thought I was like, I like that.
If it wasn't for entertainment, then it wouldn't have been televised. But people just love to make a rivalry. They love to just take two people who they think would be good rivals and run with it.
I think it would be a better quote-unquote rivalry if they were in the same conference.
Yeah.
Where, like, they were playing each other more than 2 times a year. Mm-hmm. Or, like, they're also not on playoff teams, to simply put it.
They're the two worst teams in the NHL. Well, were. Formally, if you watched my Wednesday watch, they are both having better seasons than they were this time last year.
They are both in rebuilds.
They are also, Macklin Celebrini and Leo Carlsson are tied for second for most points scored in the NHL, and Connor Bedard is fourth. Well, now I think he's also tied for second with them because he got a goal last night. And you know who's number one? Nathan MacKinnon. I saw a meme, and it's like Nathan MacKinnon and 3 kids who are not legally able to drink are leading the NHL in scoring right now. And that's so funny to me.
I just think it would be more interesting if they were in the same conference to where, like, they could actually meet in playoffs. And it, like, actually means something. Because the only time that they will ever meet in playoffs is if it's a Stanley Cup.
No. They're both in the Western.
Yes, they're in different...
No, they're both in the Western.
Chicago's in the Eastern.
No, Chicago's in the Western Central. And then San Jose is in... No. Chicago's in the Western Central. And San Jose's in the Western Pacific.
Look. You're telling me Chicago's not in the Eastern?
Yes, fact check me. They're in the Western, and they're like, I think in 5th or 6th place right now. They're in the exact same conference as the Dallas Stars. Western Central. It's the Jets, the Avs, the Mammoths, the Bedards, the Stars. While you're looking that up, shout out Devsman for that fire caption for their walk-ins for Chicago. They said all that jazz. If you don't know, that's from the musical Chicago. And I just thought that was really funny, and I appreciated that.
Okay, I really thought they were in the Eastern. Sorry.
Is it Western Central?
I just looked up. It just said Western.
Oh, well, it's Western Central. So they're in the same conference. They're just not in the same division. So, speaking of Sidney Crosby, Sidney and his fellow Pens, as well as the Preds in the community that Juliana spoke of, are currently in Stockholm, Sweden for the NHL Global Series. And I was just curious, when it's playing. I was wanting to watch. I think that's fun when they play in different countries, right? Guess what it's on, Juliana?
NHL Net.
NHL Net. What do you mean you're going to have them fly out to Sweden, spend several days there? They've been there since yesterday, I think, or the day before, and they play tomorrow. And then stream the game on NHL Net. That makes no sense. How many people are actually watching hockey on NHL Net? Surely it can't be more than the amount of people who watch on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, that kind of stuff. Surely there's more people watching on there than NHL Net that you'd want to make more money, more revenue, and stream it there rather than NHL Net.
From a business standpoint, I can understand why they would want to do it on their streaming service, because they're like, oh, it's our streaming service. People are going to get the streaming service just to watch this game. But they severely are underestimating. Nobody wants to do that.
Also, it's so hard to get NHL Net because you have to have cable. It's not like there's like an NHL app and you can just get NHL Net like ESPN Plus on the NHL app. That would be something that would be a lot smarter for them to do. I also think that would bring them a lot more money, and I'd also think it would be easier and more accessible for hockey fans to watch the games. Another reason, speaking about why fans probably won't stick around if they start getting into hockey, it's so hard to watch hockey.
It's because it is impossible.
And the only reason I'm able to watch as much hockey as I watch is because of my brother's ESPN that I smooch. He's not
and then there's
it,
also like so many games not on ESPN.
I feel like the majority of them are on ESPN. I feel like every time I look, it's on ESPN. Or sometimes Amazon Prime, which I have. Sometimes HBO Max, which sometimes we have. It just depends on Juliana's mood. And then I have some channels so I can watch. Also, shout out Victory Plus, because you guys are real ones for streaming every single Stars game for, guess what? Free. And if you live in Anaheim, California, you could watch all the Ducks games because they have Victory Plus too. But I don't live in Anaheim, California, so I can only watch the Stars games.
If the NHL had an app where I was like guaranteed to be able to watch every single game, I would pay for that. But they're dumb.
Right. We already established this.
Yeah, I think that's the theme of this episode, is the NHL does not know what they're doing.
The fact that NFL partnered with YouTube for their Brazil game with the Chargers and the Chiefs, and it was live streamed on YouTube for free. And that was so cool. Also accessible for people to watch. I feel like more people need to do that. It brought traction to both YouTube and the NFL.
We shouldn't be taking notes from the NFL. Do you know how much money you have to spend to watch every single NFL game?
A lot, but I'm sure it would be the same for NHL if someone did the math. That's if you could even find a way to watch them. Some NHL games are like, you need to know your grandma, father, uncle, dog, cats, neighbors, best friends, husband, and then ask them for the secret password. Then you have to pay $200 and then you can watch this game. But by the time you actually get to it, it's already halfway through, so you did all that work just to watch half a game. In other news, Paul Bissonnette shaved his mustache and I don't like it.
Did he really?
Yes, I was watching, the Devils game last night versus the Blackhawks because it was on TNT, and he's a host when they stream on TNT. That was the HBO Max game, whatever, it's okay. Didn't want to watch it. I watched it on cable, but anywho. And it panned him, and I said, that's not Biz, there's no mustache. And then it, went to him, and I was like, oh my gosh. Not his best look. Speaking of things that have just absolutely broken my heart this week, Paul Bissonnette shaves his mustache. Thatcher Demko is injured. Again, I just cannot do it. What do you mean all the Canucks are injured?
It's truly...
I don't know who put a curse on the Canucks, because I just want to talk to you. Because this is not
Somebody
fair.
needs to pay an Etsy witch to get it removed.
They didn't deserve this. They did nothing. I mean, okay, curse just said Vander Kane. He's the only person who deserves to be cursed. And nothing's happening to him.
Hurt.
Yeah, I know. Philip Yeadle did nothing. Thatcher did nothing. Also, it's a groin injury, out for 2 to 3 weeks. Not his knee, because that's usually what causes him injury. Also, I was like, okay, maybe Thatcher's just old and it's old age, right? Guess how old Thatcher Demko is?
29.
Yes. I thought he was 30. Something. Kiefer Sherwood's older than Thatcher Demko. And he leads the Canucks in goals.
Oh, Keith.
Thank you, Chief Keith, for your service once again. But
he's really holding it down.
Literally. But since the end of the 23-24 season, Thatcher Demko has been out 5 different times for injury.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Canucks cannot catch a break. Not to mention, before he got hurt in Winnipeg, he literally took the whole weekend off. Poor Kevin Lankinen was goaling back-to-back games. They shouldn't have done that because he was tired the second game and did not play that good. That's when you look at them and you're like, should you have really traded Artie Party? But I digress. Not to mention the Abbotsford Canucks went on a 11-game losing streak and just recently broke it after becoming Calder Cup champions. I wonder what's wrong. So Lanky had to play back-to-back games, and then finally Thatcher was in against Winnipeg, and after the first period, they come back out, and guess who's in net? Not Thatcher! I feel so bad for them. And they're not bad. They're not playing bad hockey. They're keeping up with teams. Yeah. They lost in overtime to Colorado. Impressive, that they were able to hold their own. They lost only 5-3 against Winnipeg, and a lot of those shots were just really unlucky shots. Bounced off someone's stick, bounced off someone's skates. They weren't, good shots. Some of them were just unlucky, and the Canucks this year are just extremely, extremely unlucky. And it hurts me, and it physically pains me to see because I love the Canucks.
I think trading Artie was a great move for Artie and the Penguins, not for the Canucks. And I think it was bold of them to do that, knowing that, Calder Cup MVP had multiple shutouts, and also knowing that Demko is very injury prone.
Oh my gosh, at the ripe age of 29?
He's unk, I guess. I don't know.
He's the same age of Mikko Rantanen, and guess who's in their peak right now?
Mikko's Finnish. Maybe that helps. I don't know.
All I have to say is, which also this is sad because since you brought up Mikko's Finnish, Thatcher got an invitation to Team USA. Because when he's healthy, he is healthy. He is a brick house, he is good. But then he gets injured and he's gone.
But then again, he would not have had a chance to play unless Otter and Hellebuck got hurt.
We are now 1 month away from leaving to go to New Jersey for the Hughes Bowl. And I just want it to be a good game. But I want the Canucks to be healthy. And I think in order for it to be a good game, we need healthy Nucks. Also, if Quinn Hughes is not playing in this Hughes Bowl, that's going to be
so upsetting.
I'm going to be so pissed. I paid a lot of money, people. A lot of money for us to go to a Hughes Bowl. And I picked the earlier one. Well, also because Juliana, wasn't going to make her get a passport. But I picked the earlier one hoping one of these 3 injury-prone buffoons wouldn't get injured. Quinn got a hooking call on him, and I guess when the guy, he hurt himself in the process, was grabbing his shoulder, and I literally was flipping out. I said, no way. Anywho, you know what I love about being a woman? Having a fun, quirky, little girly podcast where we get to talk about sports and not be racist or homophobic. Is that a good segue? You like that? White men. Why do we feel the need to keep making podcasts? The Kachuk brothers have just been hurt for so long they don't know what to do with themselves, so they decide to share their one brain cell and start a podcast. No, they're not even unemployed because they're still getting checks.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wanted it.
Yeah, I actually saw a great take on Twitter. The people who tend to like guys like the Canucks are probably already hockey fans because hockey has basically catered to kind of, let's face it, white men since its inception.
Yeah.
Is this podcast going to grow the game? Nobody thinks that. Growing the game to me means acknowledging the growing presence of female and queer fans in hockey spaces.
Yes.
And the NHL does not know how to do that.
No.
And somebody replied, it's like how they saw how many people were introduced to football through podcasts like the Kelsey brothers and forget the main reason people who weren't already football fans were listening to that podcast in the first place. Because the Kelsey brothers do a great job of being entertaining outside of just being a football player.
Yes.
And
Also,
they have entertaining personalities.
Jason's retired now, not an active player.
But I'm like, the Kelsey brothers had Taylor Swift on.
Jason
and
Kelsey
that's
is
bringing
literally married to Kylie Kelsey.
I know.
And that in itself is enough.
Like, that's bringing so many female fans into football.
Yes.
Because they have likable people who, like, aren't racist and homophobic and Trump supporters.
The bare minimum.
Like, you have Mr. Pfizer of the NFL.
Yeah. I loved when I saw that clip and then I read all the comments and they just passed my vibe check. They were exactly what I wanted to see, full of nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this.
Yeah.
That's two mics, idiot. Because Brady said 2 brothers, 1 mic. They share a brain cell.
It's just, if they were going to be able to grow hockey, the hockey audience, it'd make sense. But these are not people outside of who are already hockey fans care about or will care about.
They're also hockey nepo babies.
They're just not likable. And being not likable on the ice is one thing versus being not likable in person. Like Brad Marchand. Not likable on the ice. Absolute menace.
Hey.
But he is so funny.
I like
so
him on
likable,
the ice.
So sweet. Like, get Brad Marchand on the mic. Give me that.
That would be so interesting. Bro, if you did not see Brad's wife's Instagram story, he's just hitting his daughter around with a stick, spinning her in circles, and it's so funny. Not to mention he's wearing shorts. He's ice skating in shorts. That was so funny. But she's just like starred out on the ground, and he's just spinning her. It was so cute.
To conclude my 2 cents on the whole Chuck's having a podcast, it just does reek of privilege. Their entire being reeks of privilege.
Did I mention they were nepo?
And it's just not going to do anything for the NHL. I think the Kelsey brothers released an evil onto the podcast world by letting everyone think they can have a podcast.
The only thing it's benefiting is their pockets.
Oh, 100%. To play devil's advocate, at the same time, we're saying, who's giving them a podcast? Well, we have a podcast.
But we're women. Just like I said. You know what I love about us having a podcast? We're funny. Anywho, we're not racist. We're not homophobic. We're trying to grow the game. We're letting everyone know that they're welcomed in this space and in this community. We're trying to give the NHL tips on how to be better. We welcome people of all knowledge types, whether they've been fans forever or just recent fans. That's why it's okay for us to have a podcast. Also, we have 6 listeners.
We have 6?
I'm actually just taking the number of views I think our most liked video, or most liked. I don't think we have any of those. Our most watched video. Okay, so moving into the world of football, my beloved Chargers won against the Pittsburgh Steelers 25-10, making them 7-3. Very happy. Love to see it. They're doing great. Also, shout out their social media team because they got a feature on the Today Show and they posted it on their TikTok, how they are just changing the game, and I love that social media team so much. It's part of the reason why I'm a Chargers fan now. So, and I'm sure other people could say the same. Juliana, how'd the Bills do this week?
I don't want to talk about it. Like, okay. What do you mean you lost to the Dolphins?
Yeah. It could have been worse. They could have lost the Jets. They could have lost the Cleveland Browns.
It's, I didn't watch this game. Mm-hmm. And I have a running theory that, because I've only watched winning games, so I have a running theory that I need to be watching in order for us to win.
Yes, that's your new superstition.
So that's going to be really inconvenient because the way I watch NFL games is mostly through Paramount Plus. So if it's not on Paramount Plus, I don't know how to watch it. Actually, I do. It's called I Sail the Seven Seas.
Ahoy, matey.
But, you know, I'm really upset with the way they performed. They should not have lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do what we do and we move on.
Right.
I feel like that's what Josh Allen would want me to say. I would want to say something else.
Yeah, you know, good old buddy Josh, keeping us humble, keeping us level-headed.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this week. Who do they play this week?
I have no idea.
Gotcha. Hopefully this week will be a better week for them.
The Bills are playing the Bucks. They rose 6-3 this upcoming week, so.
Oh, that should be interesting. Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, I love the clip of him and Josh talking crap about each other. It's really fun. They're really good buddies. And the trash talk's always funny. But you know who has been talking about their buddy who we know nothing about? So, Aaron Rodgers is quite the character. As everyone knows.
He's the unk of the NFL.
And he really is. And this past year, during the offseason, he got married.
Allegedly.
Now, since he got married, nobody has seen his wife. Nobody knows who this wife is.
Right.
And he made it a point during whenever we got back into the season of mentioning his ring and that he's married. It got to the point where nobody knows who his wife is, to where a Steelers wag anonymously did an interview where they're like, we don't know who she is. We've never met her. We all want to meet her. We've expressed interest in meeting her. We don't know.
Right.
And if this was any other football player, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But this is Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Who went off into the wilderness and got high to decide whether or not he's going to come back for another season. The big speculation is, does the wife exist?
Yeah. How old is he? Like, is this his first marriage or was he married before?
This would be his first marriage.
Alleged first marriage.
For the longest time, he was with Shailene Woodley.
Okay, so he was dating someone. Does he have kids?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the whole, like, nobody knows who this woman is. Nobody knows if they exist. And the thing is, marriage is public information, but not in California where they allegedly got married.
Very convenient for their story.
So people couldn't look it up. So that's like the whole, like, is he actually married? And then on the other side of it, I do not think you should speculate about people's sexualities and dig into their life. If they want to come out, they can come out. But another side of it is they're like, he's married to a man and is waiting till he's retired to come out. Because also apparently early in his career, there are a lot of rumors about that. Those are the two main ones. Like, either A, he's not married and this is all made up, or B, he's married to a man and is keeping it secret.
Kudos to him for the bit. If it is all made up.
He is, because he mentions it in interviews. Like, he mentions his wife in interviews.
Interesting.
And is like, I'm so lucky to have met someone who I get along with, who's like the love of my life, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's like, who is she? Who? Yeah, she goes to another school.
She's from Canada.
Yeah. Like, that's like the whole thing. And again, if this was any other player, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. It's Aaron Rodgers, who is just a little on the quirky side.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay. Aaron Rodgers' ghost wife.
Turns out she's actually just a ghost.
Turns out
he's just seeing things.
Turns out she's real. She's just like a businesswoman.
She's just like really private.
She's just like really successful somewhere in California.
I think that's the funniest option, is for all of this to be not true.
Right, to be not
and it's just
true.
like this random woman. I think that's the funniest option.
You want to know what else is funny? Whoever decided it was a good idea to invite the LA Dodgers to Dancing with the Stars. because I just watched that episode. That happened like 2 weeks ago. But anywho, just watched that episode, and I was laughing my hind tail off. Anytime they showed them, they just looked uncomfortable, like they didn't want to be there. You know who would have been so excited to be there? The Blue Jays. But
Would they?
I think so. I digress. My favorite part was when they panned to them and Will Smith was holding the commissioner's trophy. That was really silly. I was like, okay, they brought the trophy with them. But yeah, they just did not look like they were having fun. There was one moment where they like panned to them and they were like whispering. And I was like, I want to know what they're talking about. Are they critiquing the dances right now, or are they talking about how the heck they want to get the heck out of Dodge? Like, I don't know. But that's also the perfect segue to, I think, the biggest announcement to ever happen on this podcast in our 5-episode history. Juliana, do you have the answer that people want?
I do have the answer, but first, I want to talk about my journey to get to that answer.
The floor is yours.
If you don't know, I don't watch baseball. I've decided to watch baseball because Madeline watches a very loose term. So I took it upon myself. I don't care about rooting for the home team. I knew I would not root for the Royals. I don't know why. Just something about them did not like.
Good answer. Good answer.
Something about them didn't like, not messing with it. So I took it upon myself to go find my own team. Went upon a walkabout called taking random...
I like how you said you don't want to root for the home team and only mention the Royals and not the fact that Missouri literally has 2 baseball teams and the Royals is just one of them. But please proceed. Justice for the St. Louis Cardinals. Thank you. Go ahead.
Too associated with the Blues for my liking. Anyways, took it upon myself, went on a walkabout on the internet to take random online quizzes that are supposed to tell me what sports I should root for. In total, I took 4. There were more, but I was not giving my email to these random sites.
Right.
So the result I got for the first quiz is Orioles?
Oh, yes.
The Birds? That was the first. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But I, put it in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Second one I got was for the LA Dodgers. And this gave me a little, snippet. It's like, you are a Californian at heart, which I think is a hilarious thing to say to me, of all people. You enjoy being the center of attention and are often referred to as the funny friend, which I feel like that's...
She refers to herself as the funny friend. Nobody's calling her that.
I was talking about the center of attention, but okay.
Oh, I thought you meant the funny friend. No, yeah, sure. Center of attention, yeah.
Took another one. Got the New York Yankees. And
my dad hates that team.
Huh?
My dad hates that team. The Cubs and the Yankees.
Really?
Travis can't stand them.
Oh, another team that I would absolutely never root for is the Cubs.
Why?
I don't know.
I respect it.
And then the last team that I got a quiz for was... The answer I got was New York Yankees. And I want to read the little description they gave because I think this is amazing.
Okay.
The description for my result was, you're the absolute worst and your ego is so big. And that by itself almost made me want to root for the Yankees. That description by itself, I was like, you know what? I kind of love that. Because I've been known to have a big ego.
You can get matching hats with Quinnifer. And then never take it off.
I was like, okay, the Yankees feel like a cheap answer. So then I was like...
Very basic.
You're not going to like my answer. I was thinking, what do I know about baseball? The answer is nothing. One of my favorite movies that I've ever seen with one of my favorite actors is 42.
The Jackie Robertson movie?
Yes, Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robertson. I love that movie so much. I remember when I showed my little sister that movie, couldn't tell her a lick about baseball, but I could talk about that movie.
Okay.
I love that movie. So I was like, he played for the Dodgers. So all of this came in a roundabout way. I just went in a huge circle for no reason. I ended up with the Dodgers. I think I'm just going to choose Dodgers. and I would have drawn a picture, but sports logos are so boring.
No, the LA Dodgers logo is boring. Have you seen my Blue Jay?
Literally, most of the sports logos are just like the letters of the city.
Well, you picked a boring team. I can't help you on that. So you're telling me I waited for a week and all that build up just for you to pick the team that you wanted to root for because you liked that it made me mad? I am so disappointed right now.
I did consider the Angels.
This is not worth the wait.
But then it made me upset that their name is just Angels.
I don't know what to say. My only question I had for you was what led you to this decision. It was not the outcome I wanted. I literally wanted anything else, I think. I was wanting you to get into some nitty gritty. Like, I was wanting you to pull out some, like, Arizona Diamondback. I would have been like, okay, girl, what research you been doing?
I think for one of them that I didn't take a picture of was, I think I got the Minnesota Twins. I was like, that's a stupid name.
Yes, but...
And it made me upset. Also, it's really hard to find quizzes telling you what baseball team you should root for.
I'm surprised you didn't look at all their logos and jerseys and stuff and picked which one you thought was cute.
I did look at the logos and I was like, was not impressed.
Maybe it is the Minnesota Twins. One of my favorite baseball players who used to play for the Cardinals, he plays there. Harrison Bader, the one who wears the crop top. I love him so much.
Honestly, I don't really care about baseball. I would wear a New York Yankees hat purely because I got that answer that said, you're the worst and have the biggest ego.
You can get a New York.
I think that's so funny.
You can get a Yankees
and so
hat
spot on
when we go to New York in a month.
That is true. I also like the idea that I can wear a Dodgers hat and it be my dad's initials.
I like that a lot. Did you see me think? I was like,
I did see. I would go to a Yankees game. I also like the idea of the Yankees because of Sex and the City, and they did an episode with the Yankees. Or was it the Mets?
Right. So they're different.
I think it was the Yankees.
They're different.
I think it's the Yankees.
The New York Mets makes me think of Wizards of Waverly Place.
That's so fair.
Because that was Alex Russo's dad's favorite team.
I'll take the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Well, you can have neither.
I can have neither?
Man, I'm, like, actually so let down. I thought you were going to, like, pull out a fun team.
I got stuck on the thought of Jackie Robinson and Chadwick Boseman. I think next we're going to have to touch basketball at some point.
Okay, wait. So, next week we reveal our basketball teams?
Next week, basketball.
So, Juliana and I are going to watch a basketball game, and we are going to collect our thoughts next week, and we're going to come back with basketball thoughts, and then we're going to come back with our basketball teams. How does that sound?
Next week we come with basketball. So, I wish I could like the Mavericks because I like that they're a horse, but I don't like them.
Maybe somebody else will be a horse for you. I actually don't know basketball that much. I know LeBron James.
You know who I do like?
I know Kobe Bryant, R.I.P.
I like the Dallas Wings, the women's
I like the Dallas
team.
Wings, too. I love Paige Beckers. Yeah. That's a Dallas team I can get behind.
I would much rather watch women's basketball.
It's not in season. They just finished.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're the opposite of the men's. Stay tuned next week for some basketball talk.
We went to a Sweet 16 game.
UT versus Miami. The refs were absolutely
and we had fun. The refs were absolute trash.
Oh, too bad we can't pick a collective team. Then we could go watch them when they play the Mavs.
I'm guessing there's around 30 teams. I'll give us a 1 in 30 chance.
Okay, well, 1 in 29 because the Mavs.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about it, and we're going to do the reveal, and we're going to do it dramatically. We're going to have a picture on our phone or something, and we're going to turn, and so we can see what each other's teams are.
Are basketball logos more fun? Could we draw that?
We know Juliana's not going to be a Utah Jazz fan because she doesn't like the mascot.
Their mascot's scary! What do you mean it's the human eyes? That's weird!
No,
what do you mean? Full
That is weird.
Weird.
We have a 1 in 28 because I'm not picking the Utah Jazz either. I don't like purple
Lakers.
I don't like purple and yellow together. It reminds me of LSU. And I hate LSU. Also, something about the Chicago Bulls doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, me too.
Well, thank you
Nightmare
guys
fuel.
so much for watching. Come back next week to listen to us yap some more. Listen to our takeaways from a basketball game from people who know very minimal about basketball. As well as the big reveal of our NBA teams. What? My first year I'm gonna have a basketball team? Anywho, like, subscribe, comment, follow the pod on Spotify.
Give us your basketball teams.
Convince us of basketball teams. This is going to be the TikTok this week, so you guys can maybe comment your basketball teams. Put a case for them. Yeah, do all the things. And we're going to see you next week, okay? Okay. Bye.